To a lot of people, the Gen 3 and Gen 4 General Motors V8 engines have been the greatest thing to arrive in hot rodding since, I don't know, fat tires. I mean, really, they're outstanding motors. And you find some situations where, even though the stock version makes a lot of power, we always want a little bit more, or we want to package the motor better or make it look better. So naturally, we were very excited when we noticed over here at Weiand that there are some new intake manifolds with some new technology and new materials. So we decided to talk to Peter Starr, who's kind of the guy behind this. Peter, what are we looking at?
Okay, what we're looking at here is a new LSX inlet manifold. Covers the range from LS1, LS2, LS6, and the new L92 head, which is, you know, is the rage at the moment. You know, people are retro swapping them in the
crazy. Absolutely.
It's the high ported head. So we've covered that all in the one.
Now, what makes this manifold different from? I guess we'll start with the stock.
Okay, with the stock one, typical cutaway of a GM inlet manifold. It has the ribs internally, it has support posts internally, and it has shrouded or covered in intake ports. What we've utilised in our design is we've put all the webbing underneath to keep a flat floor. Our design eliminates the necessity for strengthening poles, and the beautiful thing is, because we're running a longer runner to get that torque and road power, we've brought the inlet runner right into the plenum chamber, and we have a Formula One inspired tapered bell mouth trumpet in the actual plenum chamber. So all the way along the range, we have got awesome flow from zero right up to high speed.
So this is fantastic, and it's a little easier to see. This port goes in here and dumps out here.
Yeah.
Right, and then the air has to go around this pillar and over this bumpy surface and then in. And yours, it's a nice smooth path, and it opens up like you're saying, the Formula One inspired trumpet design.
Well, that's right. As you get the air in from the throttle body, which we cover both 90mm, which is what the aftermarket guys do, and wholly supply the throttle for that.
Yep.
Or if the guy's got his factory 75, we've got an adapter plate for that as part of the kit. Gets in, there's nothing in the way.
Wow.
It's a great big open plenum, and it gets that air sucked right in. So, you know, right from the get-go, we're getting every bit of air possible into that engine.
This is very cool, and watching this, you'll notice a couple things here that might be questions at this point. First of all, this guy is not from the United States, right? Obvious by the way he speaks.
Yeah.
Second of all, talking about F1 technology, meaning this is a kind of a global viewpoint.
Sure.
Because F1 isn't as big here as it is in the rest of the world, even though it's really the most badass shit there is.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about where these are made, where it came from.
Okay, well, obviously by the accent, we're down from Australia. We do more than wrestle crocodiles down there, so, you know, we keep ourselves busy.
Have you ever even seen a crocodile?
Oh yeah, I have a pet one, you know, so it sits next to my kangaroo, although you got to fence them off. So,
and
but
the
anyway,
wallaby gets involved.
Yeah, that's right. Watch out for the wombat and all that. But anyway, I didn't say crikey though, but anyway.
Oh, there you go.
So look, Star Products is a design, development and manufacturing company based down in Australia, and we have spent 18 months of hardcore development, because as you notice, this is a one-piece injection molded plastic unit. So the amount of tooling costs that we're putting into this, we had to know that it is going to be not just a little better, but it had to be awesome and rock stomping, real tough hardcore manifold.
Oh yeah, because if it didn't work, it'd have been a complete waste of energy and money.
Exactly right. So when we're backing ourselves, we had to make sure this thing's going to work. Now I must state, this manifold is designed for your performance streetcar guy. From 2 to 6,200 RPM, that's the guy who's going to benefit from this manifold.
Well, that's 98% of them.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
And being an Australian piece, this engine family and the rear drive platform that uses these are all over Australia. They build them down there.
I mean, that's all we've ever had. So, you know, right from '98, we've had the LS series engine that you have, and in fact, your new G8. Man, we've had that for 18 months. It's been running around. So the L92 manifold on that, it's old hat now.
Old news, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And being a one-piece mold, man,
Yeah.
that's got to be pretty tricky. What is this made out of? Tell me.
This
about
is a nylon 6 plastic material, the same material that the OEM have made from.
Okay.
And we've followed that theme right through the whole manufacturing process. So not only is it OEM, so we've got the OEM specifications as far as the material's concerned, we've guaranteed that the OEM fitment is retained as well. So you've got the OEM fitment for all the vacuum
we see
points, everything like that. It fits the LS1 fuel rail without modification, the LS2 fuel rail without modification, the L92 fuel rail without modification. We run the map sensor at the back for LS1, the map sensor at the front for LS2. So all the way along the design, you know?
So you're able to keep basically one part number for the whole family.
Exactly. We have 2 part numbers. The only reason for that is simply because of the arch port for the LS1, LS2 versus a square port for the L92.
Okay. Wow, fantastic.
Okay.
And tell me about the availability.
Okay, availability March next year. Okay, SEMA comes around but once a year. If we miss this year, it's like Christmas, you know.
Thank goodness.
And look, for you guys, this is Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're here to promote it, and we're saying, look, March next year, it'll be readily available through all your Holly outlets. Okay. Price point.
I think another thing that we haven't talked about is being made of an OE material.
Yeah.
This is going to react differently to heat than, say, an aluminum piece.
Oh, absolutely. Look, in thermal barrier capacity, it is phenomenal compared to an aluminium. You know, we make hot plates out of aluminium.
Yeah.
So we know what aluminium does.
Right.
Okay. So the thermal properties of plastic and the weight saving.
Sure.
Now, not only that, we've also incorporated into our manufacturing process a new technology, which is what we like to call the thick and thin technology. Now, this has been unavailable in aluminium and plastic manufacturing previously. As you notice here, we've got a 1/2 inch thick bell mouth trumpet.
Yes.
And yet we've got a 3 mil wall thickness up here.
Yeah.
Now, traditional injection molding would have that pull and twist and stress and possibly fracture. With our technology, this is not a problem.
You know, a lot of people, I think, when they see the factory intake manifold, it's not that bad of a piece.
It's not a bad piece at all.
But it has to do things that you might not have to. Noise, vibration, harshness. This is supposed to be a quiet manifold, and it's supposed to fit a variety of applications.
Sure.
So there's a whole bunch of different performance benefits that you can pick up just not having to be a factory level, you know, part when it comes to a car being sedate and quiet and mellow.
Sure, absolutely. But on that platform, we realised that OEMs are like a 15-minute swap over. So with our manifold, it's a genuine 15-minute swap over from manifold to manifold. As you can see, the styling has been an issue. We wanted to...
It looks great.
Yeah, we wanted to break away from that traditional crowded runner style, so we've gone for a whole new aesthetic. There is a reason for it. It does clear the LS1 fuel rail crossover and the dampener. So rather than just dint 2 runners, we've made the whole lot of the runners the same, guaranteeing equal flow for every runner. Now, I might add, we're offering this in 2 colours. It'll be offered in the satin black plastic, and it's also going to be offered for the hot rodder guy, which you all love, in the ever bright chrome.
Oh, so really? That can be applied to this?
Absolutely. So cool, it'll be a smooth ever bright chrome, and it'll shine like a mirror. Pricing for this baby, we're setting it out at $650.
Really?
Yeah.
That's extremely competitive.
It is competitive, and with the torque and horsepower that it makes through the range from that get on it straight off the idle power, we're expecting it to be a really, really good thing.
You know, did I even ask you power numbers? I've been so impressed with the design and the look of it. I don't think we even covered that.
No, look, back to back on a say a 5.7 GTO, we found, as you see here on the graph, we found 32 more horsepower gain over the LS6 manifold, which is a good one. Which is a good one. But the beautiful thing, we made a peak of over 31 foot-pounds more at 4,000 RPM.
Nice and low.
Not only did we make more power and torque, we've brought it down earlier and held on to it later.
Yeah, and there's a big area under that curve of additional power.
Yeah, that's the buzzword. Everyone talks about power under the curve, and that was something. We've matched this manifold to that rev range. So it's at home right there between 2 and 62.
Wow. Well, hey, nice work. It paid off. Very cool stuff.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for your
Appreciate it.
time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay.